And you were live.
We are live, and I'm distorting terribly. But it appears they've turned me down. Sorry I blasted you guys with a wall of sound just now. I wish my voice really sounded like that. Like I could do the Michael Winslow megaphone effect. I can't do it. I'm not gifted with the ability. I know a lot of y'all probably are. And if you send me MP3s if you sang stuff in megaphone voice, I don't know, I'll throw it in a remix or something. Hey, what's up, people? How's it going? Thank you for joining me. So glad to be with you. And my homies are out there. I don't know who's planning to do what today. I'm not sure if we're doing drumming shows. I'm not sure what's on the docket for today. But I know one of those things is Shovel Night. I'm one of several people working this stream right now. We have a whole team of creative, crazy people that do all kinds of stuff. And I'm going to work on Shovel Night music because that's my job, and it's got to get done, so I'm going to share it with y'all if I can. As much of it as I can, I'm going to do on stream. But I got to start stepping up the pace. I got to start doing 2 songs a day eventually, but I don't know. If I keep up this pace, I think I'll be good. Like, I'll be good around beta-ish. The music in Shovel Night sometimes goes in pretty close to ship day, and nobody really worries, like, because they just know one day it's just kind of going to be there, and it's going to be exactly what it needs to be. There's fixes in the art going in until the bitter end. Basically,
You have one of those chip tune downstairs for me?
have a chiptune what for you?
Sound check.
Oh, yes. Let me chiptune sound check. Let me see if Family Tracker's coming out. I'm already ranting existentially at y'all. Oh, wait. I'm talking into the intercom for some reason. Let's stop that. 10-4.
Copy.
Okay. Let's get the show on the road here. Guys, I'm exhausted. I'm so sorry I'm not with it today. I had to finish another project that I had been trying and failing to all-nighter to like just power through one night and just get it done. And it kept failing day after day because I was just exhausted. I was just like at my limit. Like writing all the Shovel Knight music last week kind of drained me a lot because I wasn't taking care of myself and, you know, just kind of like not managing time well. So what you're seeing is the result of that. I'm just kind of creaky and cranky in general, but I'm in a very good mood today, so we'll write something fun. What we're gonna write though, I have no idea right now, and I got to see what kind of what's gonna strike me. Unfortunately, on this one, I'm not gonna take requests because it has to be something that I'm like feeling personally, like I really have to do it. Like it's just gotta get, like that's the one. Like I'll know it when I see it. Maybe if you suggest stuff, my memory will be jogged, but you don't know what I have to do necessarily for the Spectre. You know that I have to write the level themes. So if there's level themes you really want to hear redone, I will take a stab at it. I have a bunch of them that I have ideas for. It's not like I'm going to this blind. Like I have I have an idea for a lot of these things. I have music in my head for some of these, like ready to go. But some of them are brand new, and they're not listed on the, you know, there's a bunch of stuff that's brand new to the plot. So I can't even tell you what it is to give you a choice. So I'm going to have to probably just like, probably pick something that I'm confident with. Yeah, Third Koopa says your monitors are amazing and make my setup look slightly less ridiculous. Yeah, I'm ADHD. That's all you need to know. I need to be able to look at 5 things at once, and then like 20 things on each monitor. Like I have so many browser tabs and windows open at any given time. My life is a tornado of chaos. I have the laptop over here that's running Family Tracker, but the monitor for it is over here. It's the second monitor, and so I can do stuff off screen over here if I need to. You know, porn, whatever. And then over here is the Mac. These 2 are the Mac for right now, but I can make this one the Mac and this one above the Mac. You can't see this TV up here, but there's a TV up here as a supplementary monitor, and it's a courtesy monitor. I can see myself on it right now. I can see what you guys are seeing, the output of the video program. But yeah, we have all kinds of switches running in here just to make it so that I can be as chaotic and like jump into whatever is possible, because the needs and the technical setup is going to change from project to project, and sometimes back and forth day to day. If I work on multiple things at once, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like set up the whole thing for FamiTracker now and get off that monitor on the Mac side. So it's handy to have switches. They're pretty cheap on Amazon or Monoprice. You could just go get a bunch of HDMI switches and just control your environment. Or mini DisplayPort switches too. They have all kinds of switches and cables and converters. It's a bit of a rabbit hole to jump down when you start researching HDMI switches and trying to find ones that strip out HDCP for streaming purposes so that you don't get a black screen, or like ones that don't have a really long delay time when they start up. But generally it's going to be like, you know, pretty cheap to get an HDMI switch that'll let you have a bunch of different signals going into one monitor. And if you have a bunch of monitors, you could just freaking matrix route them any old way. But usually I keep the Mac over here because this is my main 4K display, and I need maximum screen real estate for Cubase because I have, in this track I was just doing, which I should definitely shut Cubase immediately. I was going to scroll down and see how many tracks I have, but it has the project up on it. So where was I? Let's see. Monitor routing. I just ranted about monitor routing for just like, you know, probably 10 minutes or something. I don't know how long this has been. My sense of time is totally distorted today. So I don't even know what I'm going to write, where I'm going to begin. Let's first of all load our pattern. Let's do that first. That'll be excellent. Power block 3. Okay, so. And I have decided, against Sean's exhortations, he said, no, man, you don't have to do that. The version that's in there is dope. You don't have to do extra work, but I'm going to do a little extra work, and I'm going to make an indoors version of, you know, the Juice Bar has an indoor and outdoor version. I'm going to make an indoor version for Pride More Keep. That's like, it gets more classical and refined and minimal when you go indoors. And then it gets grandiose as soon as you step outside to just show the pomposity of the castle, the sheer radiance of every gleaming, untarnished. It's gonna be beautiful. It's a happy version of the Pride More Keep. So I'm gonna make an interior version for when you go in there. It's gonna be so dope. I'm so happy about that. But I like the original version, but it needs to not be blaring all the time. It needs, when you go indoors, like it has to get more minimal and fancy. Because in this alternate reality version of whatever, which by definition is just what happens when you have any kind of new expansion, because it's not the story you knew. There's some new stuff in it. So I'm not even going to spoil what is different about the story or how it's alternate or, you know, retold or this or that. It's a brand new, amazing, heartfelt story. It's all temp dialogue right now, but we're working on making it refined and awesome, like giving it the voice. And it's going to be really something special. I'm so excited about it. And now that I know it's, you know, I've done a full playthrough now. So now that I know what's going on in the game, in the campaign, I can write themes for it that are way more on point because I've seen the graphics that they're going to be behind. I happen to have lucked out with, I think, most of these. They're matching pretty well, but I hadn't played the full game until a few days ago. And I'd already started working on the music based on like videos that Sean sent me of the levels and how things are different. But yeah, it's been a fun ride so far, and I'm just getting hyped now. So that's when I start getting dangerous, and I don't mean like good quality. I just mean like I stop sleeping and stuff. So I got to take care of myself. I have a lot of people around me to yell at me if I'm being an asshole and like, you know, pushing it too hard. Like, get some sleep, dickwad. And I'm like, oh, fine, all right. Fuck, I gotta sleep. You know, it takes over, man. You can't do this much Nintendo music without like really wanting to all the time. There's so much to do. Okay, so we did L's theme. Maybe I'll play that for you while I'm calling up the spreadsheet of tracks that I gotta do. Maybe I should ask Sean, the director, if he has any preferences, or maybe I'll ask another member, whoever's manning the Yacht Club account. Let's go to Twitter and let's ask Yacht Club Games which track they would like me to do. I think they're probably going to want the hub area. Sean seems to be most hyped about that, and I bet that's shared amongst many of the people there. Because there's a whole hub area, you know, like every other shovel night. We have the juice bar. We have the potionarium. And then we have the hub, which is all you're going to get. Yeah, let's avoid Twitter. Maybe maybe somebody isn't here right now. They'll just be like piping up like, hey, everyone in the office wants you to do. I already did Polar Night. I did Polar Night a couple last week. A couple days ago. Whatever. The days are blending together. Here, let me play it for you. This one is sort of a bridge between his original level and the boss theme. So it's got all kinds of elements of both in there, with like some weird, interesting new stuff in there. Some grunge and some glitches and weird timings and stuff. All right, let me just shut the hell up and play it. Sorry. I'm a tool bag. Let's do this. So yeah, that's the new Polar Night theme. Again, not saying what's new about the levels, but they're different somehow, just like Plague Nights were. But actually, way more than Plague Nights were. You're gonna get quite a surprise in some of these. It's amazing the transformation that they've done. Are you still getting only one channel? Son of a. It's some loose connection somewhere. It's got to be, because I'm getting a stereo signal on my monitors.
Right.
Whatever's going to the
next connection in line though is that.
Yeah, it's the big one sticking out of the back here. These could be poorly seated. Let me unseat them and reseat them. Oh, they're just 1/4 inches. So let me unplug them and plug them back in.
Yeah, they're like plugged into like a weird Ethernet adapter.
Yeah, the Ethernet adapter is right here, and it should. I mean, it should be totally fine. You can pan me mono if you need to.
Yeah, I've been doing that.
All right, but yeah, so the audience isn't getting 1 year special, right? Yeah, you guys will bitch me out if I do one channel in 1 ear. Yeah, I'm down. Right. Well, if done properly, it's mono. If you add some crazy hack that makes it stereo, then you got stereo. Man, Ben brought me a coffee. All right, so let me explain what's been going on. I'm absolutely swamped. I had to do this thing that I was unbelievably late on, and I finished it. But I was supposed to sleep afterwards and finish it early in the morning, like, you know, late, and go to sleep for a little while and come back in time for the stream. But that didn't happen because it ended up taking me all morning to do the track and get it to them at all. And then we had to do the stems and everything, so I had to finalize it. I played live bass on it just now, like literally 10 minutes before the stream started. And then I sent it in, and here we are. So I'm like, people have been coming into my office for the past 24 hours and placing things in my hands that I might need, just being considerate and like awesome. So I'm pretty, I'm pretty hyped for my team right now because they're just like, I'm a music factory at this moment in time, and I'm just churning out ridiculous amounts of music like around the clock to try to get on top of everything before the winter break comes and decimates my entire operation. Like, we got to get stuff done, and we got to get games launched, and we got to, make sure everybody's happy. And that just means like just putting in a crap ton of hours to get ahead of it. And so everybody around here is just like, whatever, business as usual. Let's just get it done. So they're just putting coffee in my hand randomly and just like, Jake, eat, get the hell out of here, go home. Sometimes let's drink some coffee and get woke up. Oh, it's black, just how I like it. Ooh. Pray singing, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the 5th of the month, 6th of the... Fuck. Are you kidding me? Wake up, wake up. Let's drink some coffee, guys. Who has coffee here? Does anyone else have coffee at home? Are we coffee buddies? Are we enjoying some fine brewed beverages together? We having a nice time? Or tea. Tea is also an excellent way to pass the time. Get some Tibetan yak butter. Just freaking... Man. I feel like I was just run over by a bus, but it's just my brain was run over. Nothing else was run over. All right. Yeah. Hey, what up, everybody? We have people joining us at randomly. Everybody's hanging out for this. You guys want to see what the hell I'm going to do today, and honestly, so do I. I need to figure out what the heck I'm going to work on. You know what I think? I think I'm going to do the hub level, because it's going to be a quieter, more pensive track that's got fewer notes in it. It's a little bit closer in style. It's not similar, but maybe a little bit to the Shield Knight Requiem. So it's more of a... Where Plague Knight's hub world was... Man, I wish I had the up-to-date Plague Knight file on this machine. But I'm going to go looking for it later. I said that last time too, but eventually I'm going to get around to this. I think it's in the parallels on my... And then... No, it's probably on Dropbox somewhere. Anyway, I'm going to go searching for it later. Point is, the hub world for Plague Knight was a little bit more... It was more... I guess it was more... I would class it as like maybe mid-19th century Eastern European in style. Like... It was slightly more jaunty and playful and troublesome, and a little bit haunted house, like spooky. A little bit like, there was a little like of that Munster style of like spooky, haunted kind of feel to it. So I think this one is going to be a little bit more somber and emotional because the story is going to make you cry. It's a tearjerker. It's beautiful. So it's Plague Knight, so I'm not spoiling anything. It's these people know how to write a story in a video game without making the whole thing story. You can just get by on these little cutscenes, and they're like really dope. There's a few of them in the game, in each game, that tells a really deep story just by having characters that I'm proud of the way the characters have personality without being meme lordy. Like, there's really not that much dankness in the script of Shovel Knight because we're trying to make it timeless, and it's not like you have to have been around in 2016 to understand anything in the game. Of course, there's a continuum and a spectrum of how memey you want to get, but we chose for kind of like minimum dankness and just went with the red, like Ren Fair and colloquial speech, sort of in equal measure. C4567 asks, Family Tracker is so much harder to use than FL Studio 12. Is it worth it? First of all, Family Tracker is free. Second of all, I think both are worth it. I don't think you should choose one or the other because they make totally different types of music. You can make music in FL Studio that sounds kind of like it was made in Family Tracker. You can do, in other words, a fake version of a Nintendo sound. But like Family Tracker is really amazing for that purpose. It's just purpose built for making Nintendo music, NES stuff. So it's not a general purpose tracker in most regards. It's got a lot of the features of them, but it's mostly just for making chiptunes. Whereas FL Studio is a general purpose. Deadmau5 works in it, like Skrillex works in it. I think. Is he using Ableton? I don't know what the hell Skrillex uses nowadays. It's probably using Bitwig or something. I just don't care anymore about what other people are using. Use Ableton. All right, I use Ableton too, so we're in the same tribe, but I'm not going to be like, yeah, use it, Skrillex uses, because everyone has their own tool of preference. Ableton is totally awesome, and Reaper's totally awesome, and it's very inexpensive. It's like $60 or something. And it's, if you don't register it, it just nags you at the very beginning and then just gets out of your way, and it's fully functional as a demo indefinitely. So you can run it forever and just get past the nag screen if you want to be a jerk, but it's not free. It'll remind you, it's like, this isn't free. You're just taking advantage of our niceness at this point, but you know, they don't guilt trip you or anything. They just remind you that like you should probably register it if you're going to use it, but you don't have to. Legally, they're willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and let you try it as long as you want before you can afford to buy it. You know, they're kind of just cool about it. All right. Anyway, so there's a lot of tools to use, and nobody has the right answer on which is the best. I love Ableton. I love Cubase. I love Family Tracker. I love Impulse Tracker. I love Mod Plug Tracker in a kind of like redheaded stepchild kind of way. Not to be gingerist. I apologize for that offense. You guys only think I'm joking. I gotta catch myself when I'm being... Shit. Let's get working on Nintendo music. What are you guys up to? How's everybody doing today? I'm so happy to be with you guys. Guys and gals. The whole rainbow of flavors, module properties. Let's go down here until 58 and then add a new song. Let's add a new song, guys. Do it. This is going to be called Hub. This is going to be SOT. Hub. Oh, yeah. Click on here. For anyone who's wondering if I'm drunk right now, no, I'm just like this. I'm weird, man. I'm a mad scientist weirdo. Most people don't get to, didn't get to see this side of me because I would be working in isolation because I couldn't stand working in front of other people because it was just an annoyance. Like I had to focus. People are like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, fuck. I want to be nice and tell you, but like, fuck off. And now I'm like, I have an audience like every day of the week. And then there's people coming in and out, just kind of talking to me randomly. And I'm just like, whatever, welcome. Like you don't, that's only because I've just been throwing myself at it, trying to learn how, because everyone I've talked to says it's really hard to be creative on stream while you're entertaining a crowd. And I haven't laid down a single note of music, but you're being creative on stream. You're getting hyped up. You're getting ready to go. Like, and then once you start flowing out, people tend to cheer you on if you're having fun doing it. So I guess the way to have fun doing streaming is to have fun doing music and not be afraid to let people see you screw up. Because if you've been watching my Family Tracker streams, you know I could technically classify myself as an expert user of this program, but I am not an expert navigator of this program in any capacity. I am very clumsy when using Family Tracker. I don't put in the right notes like 70% of the time. And I've been using this program for many, many years to do a lot of music, and I still screw it up constantly. And it's like you could play it in fast motion with yakety sax, and it would just be a comedy of errors. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. So it's okay to not know what you're doing and still end up in a place you're kind of happy with. Or extremely happy with. That's my goal today. Shovel Knight music has to be the best music I can write for video games, you know, like tied with anything else that I care tremendously about but this is the one that needs my attention and focus now. So it's like, it's got to be the best I'm capable of at this moment, you know? I can't phone it in. We got to do something heartfelt. If it sucks, I'm going to delete it and start over, and you guys get to watch. You'll be like, no, I like that track. And I'll be like, I did too, but I didn't really like it. I didn't love it. And that's a failure that I'm okay showing, because we will find something better. Is music even real, Jake? Dude, Amazing Pikachu. It's hard to tell sometimes. It becomes real. It's like a wave function collapse. It's like you remember a song that doesn't yet exist. It's like you're having a memory of something, of a song that's stuck in your head, but it's like, wait, that isn't a song. It's non-existent until it exists in your head. So is that real or not? Or is it just a collection of neurons doing whatever? I don't know. I'm obviously not an expert on the subject of music cognition. And I feel like I'm doing a fucking Magnus, how do they work, with something that I should know more about. So maybe we'll research it together and talk about the cognition and understanding of music. I've recently started reading about audiation, which is like ideation, the process of coming up with ideas, ideation. Audiation is coming up with sounds, with imagining sounds that don't exist in your head. Like if you sing, "Twinkle, twinkle, little star, up above the world so high," like you skip the middle line, but it still kind of plays in your head. And if it doesn't, you can make it start doing that to some degree. They believe by practicing, doing skipping lines and trying to imagine what the rest of it plays out like, so you can come back in on time. To try to get it in your head and think like, you know, I got to come back in at a certain point. So I'm going to imagine as if the song's playing on a record player in front of you. Just try to think about it and try to think of what it might sound like. And there's people who can do it, people who can't do it. But there's debate on whether it can be taught or is an inherent talent, or if it's something that's developed in childhood or like what. But some people claim to not be able to imagine any kind of sound in any capacity. Like they can't tell when two notes are next to each other, that they're different. Only if they're louder or softer, you know, or kind of way high or way low. But two pitches close together, they just won't hear it at all. It won't perceive in their brain. But I'm not sure I buy that. I don't know I don't know enough to make a definitive decision on whether people are unteachable in music. But I like to be optimistic and think that people could be at least trained with the ability to understand music terminology and context, like basic stuff that you can use to like read a music criticism magazine and understand what a crescendo actually is. By the way, it's just a fade up. That's just, there's more to it than that. No, actually not really. It's just a fade up. You put it on your notation thing in the staff, and it just tells the musicians to play faster as they go. I mean, louder as the passage goes. That's all it is. But you hear that used artfully in music, like magazines and stuff, and you're like, crescendo, something about, you know, big build up or something. I don't know. You know, it's just a fade up. People like to use big words though. I'm gonna use small words while I'm documenting what I'm doing here, because I want people to just watch what I'm doing and see how I do it and understand how to start yourself if you want to. You just learn by watching somebody do what the hell they do. If I ever get started here and stop ranting at you, but I'm trying to get hyped right now, so. Oh man. Ooh boy. I need to chug this coffee. What am I doing? I gotta take Ben thoughtfully put a lid on there and everything so I didn't spill it all over my freaking crotch or whatever. Like last time. Like almost every time, honestly. I'm just constantly just spewing coffee on my nut. Oh man. I'm gonna just chug this. There's like a half a cup left. Let's make Nintendo music. Oh, pardon me. Oh, MIDI. It would be cool if I had just started playing now, like, yo, whatever, F off. I just chugged coffee. Let's make some music. But my life is not that slick. I'm the most awkward transitioner ever because I try to do something in a break. All right, in. Almost all of my successes come through repetition of failure until I get the desired result. You just bang your head against it until you solve the problem. Try this thing, doesn't work. Try this thing, doesn't work. Try this thing. You have a strong idea of what you want. That's the hard part. It just comes with like immersing yourself in actively listening to music and trying to pick out what it's made of. And then it becomes sausage for your sausage grinder. And you can like do mashups and think like, well, what if I did the bass like this, and the top part goes like this. You got all those ideas from songs you've heard. Composing them in new ways, combining them in new ways, writing songs. Like every lick has been done to death, pretty much. All right. Certainly, every chord progression has been used like a billion times. Like, All right. I'll say every conventional chord progression. There's still a lot to do with chord progressions, but most of the really pleasing ones have already been found. So I'm going to try to find some right now. Albatross, Albatrix, I'm going to not fact check you and report this as fact, and I believe you because it just sounds wild enough to be true. Fun fact, indigo isn't a real color, but whoever made Roy G. Biv put it in to make a correlation between colors in the major scale in music. That's fascinating. I know a lot of people are synesthetic, and I have correlations between senses, but it's mostly controlled by memory. It's not like I don't see music as a color in specific terms. Sometimes I'll get tingles and like hearing sensations, or I'll hear phantoms, or like have memories conjure up from when I hear tones and things like that. Like at certain pitches, like I'll think of the songs that I know in that key, and like some things come flooding back randomly and in weird places. But I don't specifically see numbers and colors and music all as like, that's a pretty crazy wiring scheme. We're all wired differently, but I don't know what it would be like if I could smell my own music. It would probably be pretty funky. Oh, drop the bass. All right, let's go. Let's make some NES music. I keep saying that, and I'm a dumbass. I'm stalling for time because I don't know what chord I'm going to start with. Let me think where it starts. Let me just... All right, screw this. I know the theme and the feel I'm going for, and I know exactly what it had when I was playing through silently the first time, so I can listen to that. Let me see if first I have... untranspose. I'm not playing my keyboard transposed to the NSF anymore, the FTM anymore. I'm just going to play it in straight C layout, so I have a wider chance of actually hitting the note I'm looking for. Because once I get rolling, I've been tracking for so long without any kind of transposition. I've been transposing it to do the my tom macros with a certain QWERTY keyboard layout that's convenient. And then whatever primary root the song is in. Because very often I would write sample, like tracking feels most comfortable when the C is either the bass or the transposed bass. Anyway, I'm just spewing nonsense. Let's hear some music. All right. Oh, wow, that worked the whole way through. Oh wow, what just fell? You guys probably saw that on camera better than I saw it from over here. I think it was one of my USB HDMI. I think it's whatever. Nothing's on fire. We good. How are you people feeling? Who's with me today? Any new people who have never seen me do this before? I'm sorry that I'm keeping it such suspense right now, but a lot of this is about just being in the right mindset and being in the right mood and just rapping at you guys and just like being a random asshole is like helping me to chill out and get comfortable and just like get ready to do this thing because there's gonna be a lot of harmony work in this and I gotta make it really sweet sounding, like really dope. I gotta make it as dope as I possibly can. Anything less and I'm not trying hard enough. Yeah, I sacrificed 420 virgins, alright. Man, the new significant number is 710. Get with the times, kids. Oh, that is black gold. Turkish tea. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me put down a timing grid just to make sure I have my right tempo in here. The right amount of granularity. All right, here we go. I'm going to do it in 4. Oh my god, this bit me in the ass last time when I wanted triplets, but I had to like make fucking exceptions for every single triplet. I had to do like freaking, and there was no such thing as an even row where I could put an offset on. I don't think there was a mathematical way to do triplets perfectly in that timing configuration that I had last time, but they sound dope anyway because they're kind of like either hesitant or um, eager sounding, and that's like a real player will play an ostinato part with like with a groove to it, so it sounds a little bit more live. I'm just trying to rationalize my idiotic decision to play without a grid step that can do triplets easily. So I'm not going to make that mistake twice. Oh man, is that going to be fast enough? Yeah, fine. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so we're going to write this in A. I mean, of course, that's meaningless with this bullshit because it's going to modulate everywhere anyway. But the main key that starts in is A. A minor. It's going to be a funereal sort of dirge, I guess. Maybe an adagio, I don't know. Maybe it'll be something, it's going to be primarily string based, I would say. All right, so this is going to play the theme of the Enchantress's Tower as a motif. So first thing I'm going to do is lay down those strong melodies, but they're going to be really subtle. This is going to be a slow paced, very sweeping piece. This is going to be when you're relaxing in the hub world in between crazy intense platforming action. So it needs to but it needs to be dark and it needs to capture Spectre Knight's inherent character, which is, without spoiling anything, you know him from the original game, is he's just kind of annoyed that he has to be dealing with you. He's just kind of like, oh man, like he's kind of arrogant and he's just kind of like, you're beneath this. I'm above this. I shouldn't have to deal with a scrub, basically. A scrubble knight, more like, you know? And then, man, I'm more like stubble knight over here. I have to freaking shave, dude. Alright. So Spectre Knight is sort of he's a melancholy sort of like, he's not necessarily quiet and melancholy. He isn't reserved and keeps to himself, but he kind of like considers others sometimes below his even bothering with trifling with their matters. So he's just like, be gone from my presence, kind of, He's always trying to be the most important guy in the room, other than King Knight, who thinks he's the most important guy in the universe. But just by his sheer prowess and just because he's not happy to be there. Like he's not a particularly pleased individual at this point in his career. Luckily I am, so I'm gonna lay down these tricks right now. That's going to form the main melody of the entire thing, as far as I can hear it right now. Now the question is, do I want to start it at the intense? Do I want to start it with movement and activity and fastness, speed, quickness, and sprightliness and life? Or do I want to, I think I want to drone it out and just make it like very soft in the beginning, like, because every time you come back to the hub world, there's a beautiful transition. And if I capture that every single time you go back to the hub world, it's always going to feel kind of rich when you go back in. It's going to be sort of richness to the sound is the only way I can really describe it. But I don't have to describe it because I'm about to make it, if possible. I don't know if the Universal Simulators RNG is going to be on my side today, but I think I'm going to at least try to roll a bunch and see what I come up with. Alright, let's actually use 2 for this. The best replication of a cello I'm probably going to find right now. Oh, I'm off somewhere. Alright, here we go. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go now. I'm going to start volume fading from the start because this has got to be a very expressive track. Yeah, let's bring it to D, or maybe E. All right. Let us start fading everything. I wish there was a command where you could select the entire thing and it would just interpolate between all of the values it finds anywhere. So it would pick up from C to 6 and from C to 8. Maybe we can implore one of the developers to incorporate that feature. Unlimited salad and breadstick volume flopping. Copyright for 2016. Let's see if I'm gonna. Yeah, I made it this time without it freaking flipping back over to the next to itself like that. Because there's no other patterns. Let's listen to what we got. Dude, I'm burping up coffee. This is heinous. Save me from myself, please. Let's actually make some more expression going up here. And then down here. We need 256 rows for this. Well, we're going. We don't need rows. Sorry, guys. Let's get our frame skip way up here, our row step. So I'm putting in harmony now, using the other channels here. And I'm trying to separate them so they sound spacious, because I don't have many voices to work with, so I want to spread the chords around and not play the same ones all the time on multiple channels at once. I want to spread the chords around in the harmony structure, from low to high. Not necessarily in any particular order, just wherever they fit, but I want to space them out so there's not too much clustering, except when I want there to be clustering to concentrate attention and focus in a particular area. I can put tight harmony in there and effectively play it as a melody by using passing tones and transitions and all kinds of cool whatever bullshit that I'm about to demonstrate. Nope. And yes, Professor Whom asked, so are the big lines of numbers, letters controlling volume? Yes, the big blue vertical lines are controlling the volume of the various channels that I have on, Pulse, VRC6, whatever. I'm doing fades with them. That's why they're swelling up in volume. And then before that, the green is the instrument number that I'm using, and 8 is my just generic lead that I'm using throughout Shovel Knight. 11 is the VRC6 specific second tone of 3 that I made for this. I'm keeping very limited, intentionally limited instrument sets so that I'm not over mechanizing the soundtrack. Anything that I need to do with effects and techniques, I have to do with the pattern data. There's still a lot, but I'm holding back on some of that stuff, just not doing like shit tons of echoes everywhere. That's FX5, that comes later. But for Shovel Knight, we need to keep it classy. Hmm. All right. I don't like this dive it's doing. I need to be like just 6 up to A so these ones are nice and smooth. Way better. And then we're gonna swell this all the way up to A. Ah, this sounds really boring right now, but trust me, it's gonna be nice. Whoops. I probably should have done a fade down in here. Whoa, crap. Half my life. Oh, yeah. 4 back up to 8. Back up to A. Screw it. Ah, that's where I need to put the... It's too early. Dun, bum. I need to adapt to working in this slow tempo. No, I'm still all over the place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry I'm being so quiet right now. I'm just kind of getting into the zone for the first time today. Uh, that's a lie. Like the 15th time today. Because the party never stops. I'm in potion. Well, I don't need that kick there. All right. So I'm doing some pretty interesting harmony stuff here, to try to pull maximum heartstrings and make this like sound really warm when it starts up. This is a skeletal form of the final thing, but I'm just laying out initial harmonies so that I have a framework to build on with all kinds of interesting things happening later. But this beginning is going to be relatively smooth. It's just going to be as dynamic as I can make it. So, all right. Woo! No, that's really clunky. I shouldn't put a 7. No. Hmm. There. Ah. No, I don't want to make it a minor there. I'm going to do that later. Not like King Knight stage. We're not going to flip it and reverse it like that anymore. This is a mess. Yeah, I'm going to keep it. It's going to return to the final A minor chord there, so. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cut that entire where it goes to the root here. Watch. Yeah. There we go. Check this out. Whoops. Where do I want to go from this G. Now I also have to take this up to like E, so this swells at the end of here. This is gonna be a lot more heartstring tugging in a moment. I promise the heartstrings are coming, guys. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I really like. Mm. All right. So up back to. Now we have to make this legato. Check this. Check what we're gonna do to hear this. So it's gonna be an A. It's got to be the interval that we go on. So I'm gonna do a pitch bend down and go 7A. So this is gonna be like. Check out what this is gonna sound. All right, make it faster. Oh, 4. Oops. This has got to be high. Mm. Got to be even faster, like an F. Just about. What I'm doing is a legato violin, like. I haven't put any vibrato in yet. We're saving that for later. Let's go up 3. Whoop. Fade and everything. Fade everything. Just taking a turn for the Bachian. Yeah. I need to lay this harmony down immediately. You'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Hang on. I'm clarifying it right now. Clarifying it. I'm trying to get the. Whoa, that's too much. Too fast. It needs to be right before it. There we go. But I need to redo the 4 here. And then it's just supposed to be very, very subtle movement. It's those little details that you almost miss, but if they're not there, you miss the sound of it, the complexity of it. Whoop. Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. All right. Let me put this here temporarily, and I gotta swap around these channels. No, you know what? I don't have to. I'm gonna change it into a different voice by putting it, well, eventually, someday, putting it back where it was. I could just undo a bunch of shit, but at this point, I'm too wired to care. Do 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 do. Whoa whoa whoa, whoa whoa. All right, let's go back here and work on these transitions and this fading. Also, put this melody in the. Forgot I had those parallels. No, I don't want to actually do this. I just want to do this. Whoops. E. Yeah. I don't like that D3 poking out the top there. Yeah. Let's just do parallel harmonies here. Ah! I knew I had that coming. Mm-mm. Whoop, down here. Whoops. Gotta be a C. Gotta go back up. Sorry if none of this makes any sense. I'm just putting notes in a spreadsheet and harmonies are coming out. But once I reach a good point where I can explain what's going on to anybody who's just joining us.
I'm just joining us.
Hey, bro,
What's going
Chacho,
on?
what's happening, man?
Trying to warm up.
Man, you might be the only guy that can bust dance moves like me around here. Yeah, we got that robot tango. Let's dance together.
Yeah.
Let's dance together, Brian. I miss you. How have you been? How was your
Pretty
Thanksgiving?
good.
I haven't seen you since then. Oh gosh, I'm so happy to see you.
Yeah.
Man, today's been a crazy day. I've been working a lot, but it's been really productive. So
What are you working on?
the chat is. I'm making a Requiem-ish track for the main hub world where you go back into the kind of the neighborhood. You just hanging out with your crew before you go out into the worlds and do battle. So this is a very somber tune. This is just the skeleton of it. It's going to be more active sounding than this, but it's for right now. It's just these two patterns, these two basically pages of a manuscript. I'm still working on this part. It's going to be messed up. So yeah, this is very, very formative stuff. I'm just getting basically the structure together, and then I can start embellishing and make it sounding super sweet, like smoothing out the note transitions and the passing tones and all that shit. So it just gets progressively more polished as I work on it more and kind of chisel away at it like a marble, whatever, you know. So it's like a digital marble sculpture, and this void here with all these dots on it is just basically the background that you're chiseling out of. You're jamming notes in here, and it works just like a music staff, except instead of reading left to right, it reads top to bottom. Hang on. But you have to turn notes off automatically. You can't set like a quarter note length. You have to you can through scripting weirdness, but ordinarily when you turn a note on, it stays on until you turn it off. So you can do stuff with the volume. You can modulate it. Like I was doing all kinds of crazy kind of crazy drum work the other day. So we have all kinds of like crazy There's already a lot of weird voice leading in here, so I'm going to try to clean that stuff up. And I think I might do it with a bass anchor here.
Bass anchor.
Oh. I'm just entering notes into the spreadsheet with the MIDI controller. I actually want to leave this as a pedal. Transpose it. Whoa, yeah. I'm going to do that later. Ah. Oh, this needs to be a 9. I need the D4 up. Oh gosh, made the wrong beep come out. You gotta have this, the green number is like what index number of the instrument to use, just like in GarageBand if you're using the piano or the guitar or whatever.
Yeah.
So these ones, these channels, these extra, you know, each one of these is like a finger on the keyboard. Like you can only have one note going in each channel at once, each column. So when one cuts on, it cuts off the next one. So you can do maximum of 8 voices at once, but this one's mostly just white noise. That's useful for drums. This one I mean. And then this one's a really shitty sample player, like the world's shittiest sample player. So you can do like those old 8-bit games where it just has the scratchy samples playing. That's what this is, or various other techniques throughout the years. Anyway, the VRC6 is a special expansion chip that was in real Famicoms in Japan, the Nintendo's Japanese version. It supported these expansion chips that made the music have now 3 more voices of polyphony, which is really important. Now I can do harmony without doing arpeggios. Like, now you don't have to break everything up. So, but we still do, just to give it that extra complexity and keep things layered. Keep it sounding like an orchestra. Like, it's supposed to sound like, it's supposed to sound like a fake orchestra playing through. You can hear the woodwinds in there, if you... Oh, wait. Yeah, you have piccolos, you have timpanis. So yeah, we have like all kinds of fake orchestra potential. No, I don't like that either.
Oh, yeah. Oh, now people can hear me. Not that they want to.
Rock and roll! Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody, I'm learning stuff right now. I've never seen this before. and I've seen a lot of stuff.
Nope. We gotta see what's still ringing out. I think it's the D. Turn it off. Or better yet, I already have a, but it's indistinct actually. Oh, that's because that's an octave higher. We can octave that one because when we want a strong counterpoint, that's octave.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you pretty much have this already composed in your head?
Yep. But of course, it permutates as I realize chord voicings would be better spent this way, and then I now have to reconfigure the song.
Yes.
But the way to patch that with mental bondo is to just reimagine the song in its new form. Is better as best as you can to try to just audiate, which is my new word of the day, which is come up with an audio imagination, like a fake version of a song that doesn't exist, and you're trying to do that with a new version that has your changes in it, and see where it goes from there. It'll play out on its own if you just let it come to you.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I do the same thing.
To keep encouraging it on, you'd be like, yeah. Oh no. Yeah, that could work.
It works.
Okay, that could maybe work, and I'm gonna try that and then see if it works. But overall, I come to the table with a general flow of the song and a pretty clear iPod copy of it in my head, but it changes as we go. It evolves over time as I realize that things aren't working as well or hitting as hard as I thought they would.
Yeah. Now, how much feedback do you get, or before you start coming up with the idea, how much what's the word I'm looking for? Info do you get from the Shovel Knight people? Do they tell you this scene is happening?
I played the entire game. The entire game is playable, and I played through the whole storyline. So this is like the chill out section between the levels, but it's got to be dark and kind of.
Now, do they tell you what they want, or do they just give you free reign?
A lot of people tell me what they want, and that's
And you
generally
still do
the
what
way
you
it's
want.
done.
or no?
I can't help but do what I want, because if I try to do something that's out of my range, it's just going to sound like a Jake botched version of whatever.
No,
So
I get that.
I have to impart. People usually hire me because they want my particular style in something, not just because they want like a general purpose horror music score. Not anything along. Not I don't have anything against horror music, but and I've done a few horror games, but like generally I'm the energetic kind of like crazy harmony kind of guy, as opposed to the background kind of drones and kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very active with melody and themes and stuff like that, and it doesn't fit in like an NBA game.
Now, did you have to work up to that point? Because I know, like for me on drums, my first probably 5 years of being a session drummer, was I got hired because I could emulate anything and anybody.
Right.
Now, a lot of times I get hired because they want me to do what I do.
I've had fair numbers of freelance jobs where they wanted a specific style in mind, and they gave me like reference material, but there was always an implicit understanding that I was going to put my own spin on it. I wasn't just doing like sound-alike versions. I've done a couple games that I had to do sound-alike versions of like rap songs and stuff that were just different enough to not get us sued,
Yeah, I've done tons.
Yeah,
tons
don't get
of
us sued songs are pretty dope. But
when I do the American Music Awards, a lot of times what I'm doing is we get a scratch track of the song, we have the chart, and then they play us what they call a guide track, which is the song we're not ripping off, but emulating. And we have to make it just different enough so that ABC or whoever doesn't get reamed for it.
It's just slightly different enough. You do that a lot in commercial work too, like you're doing TV commercials and just constantly.
I did a.
That's why I don't do jingles, because it's just soul-crushing. Like,
Oh,
make it sound like this Backstreet Boys song, but make it just different enough. And that gets.
Yep.
It's fun as hell to do that for a few tries, just to know you can.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
when it becomes your job, it's like, well, I'm not making any art at all.
I used to do a lot of that. I did like Spider-Man 2 trailers, and they didn't want to pay a certain band
Yeah.
to use their song because they wanted a ridiculous money. Hired us and paid us whatever they paid us,
And then they just mechanicals on it.
and what they
Or just an original song.
It was an original song
Oh, in the style. Yeah,
in
yeah.
quotes, but I mean what I did
It
because
was like perfume in the fragrance of Calvin Klein, in the style of Calvin Klein,
Drakkar.
in the style of Rush. Like, all right, whatever. Let's do it.
It was, well, as a matter of fact, what was it? Linkin Park. And
Yeah.
I played it exactly the same because it didn't matter on the drums.
Right.
Because
I mean, it could if you have a drummer who's also a lawyer and is like, you stole the drum line
right.
from this. It was quoted directly.
well, what is it? This last year now is the first time a song got sued and the people actually won off of the feel and the groove. That's the first time that's happened.
I got to stay abreast of copyright news because I'm very much anti-copyright. I like copyright existing protect artists, but I prefer in copyleft. I prefer in I believe in no, it's a real thing. It's Creative Commons is an alternative to copyright that gives people express rights. You know, all rights reserved. You don't do that. Some rights reserved. Like you say, you can use my stuff in remixes, and I'm okay with that. Like I want to encourage that.
Dude, that's awesome. See,
It's
I've
pretty
done
Linuxy nerd neckbeard kind of stuff, but like it's getting acceptance among artists like a lot, like now because it's a way to
I
put your
like
stuff.
that.
It's a way to. That's what all our small window stuff, all our min pushing stuff is Creative Commons, so that people can munge it up and remix it.
See,
use it in
that's
their own thing.
amazing. See, it's been being a drummer.
Yeah,
I've spent years.
man, I got this weird Arctic comb over looking thing going on here.
Awesome, baby.
Does anybody tell me my hair looks ridiculous? And it's halfway gone because of all this stress.
But I've done all these like drum loops and drum things.
Yeah.
Where I got paid for the session, but then it would get reused over and over. I mean, I've got so much stuff that I've played on that's on TV that I never got really paid for.
Yeah.
For sure. A buddy of mine who, for 15 years, I did sessions for him, and he kept every recording of every drum track I ever did. And for the last, I mean, he's got hundreds of songs on TV, and everything is me, but it's all stuff that he's
Insane.
edited and put together, and I don't get a piece of it at all.
Hey, what's
So
up?
that's a new thing.
How's it going?
Nothing but good things.
He's coming. I think I'm supposed to be drumming right now.
Probably.
What time is it?
It is
Yeah.
6:07. Yeah.
Well, I should head that way.
All right.
Let's
Well,
start.
what we're gonna do today on the stream for anybody just joining, there's a camera up there if you want to say hey.
Oh, out there.
I don't know if we were introduced last time.
I'm Gil.
This is Gil.
What's up? I'm Jake. Nice to meet you. We're giving. Whoa, crap.
Songwriter, bass player.
Oh, that's right. We
movie
did.
trailers.
We talked a bit last time.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's been a blur.
How X is your X.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Drums and
It's been a running we've been saying that around the office like a lot. Like,
I know,
how X
X
is your
is
X?
weird.
Everybody loves that
How
title.
X is your X?
And,
Like, yo, it's pretty catchy. Yeah.
We got bass and stereo steel string acoustic guitar.
That is so dope.
Excellent.
It's sounding so good.
I'm so excited to hear it in
Heck
its
yeah.
finished form.
Vocals will come in.
And I did drums on it.
For anyone who's just joining us, Brian is a world-class drummer. He's a session drummer who's popular like on big projects in LA, like all over the place, and he just happens to be a friend of our studio, so he just comes over and chills all the time and plays badass drums all over everything.
I try.
Hey, have you
Yes.
you know Dream Theater, right?
Oh yeah.
Have you heard Metropolis Part 2?
I haven't.
Like the scenes from a memory, like the iconic. Yeah. Here's the original. Let me show you what's possible with family.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, Mike Mangini, the drummer, holds the world. Well, I think he still does. Holds the world record for the fastest hands
Oh crap.
at 1,247 beats a minute.
Oh my lord.
It just looks like his hands are vibrating.
Yeah, that's just at that point. That's just a roll. That's
Drumming.
like people who sing super low, but it's just full. Sorry about audio interference. I'm putting my mic through all kinds of torture today. I've dropped it like 8 times. All
I'm
right,
practicing my stick spins. All right, everybody. See if I can do
all
a
right. So
throw.
this is the original track.
Okay, the Dream Theater.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play the whole thing because
Well, yeah,
it's
they're
just a big like. I'll play the riff at the beginning, and then I'll play you my version. All right, that was fair use because I did this version of it on the Nintendo. I don't even know if it's on YouTube. I might just be about to eat crow. Hang on.
So when about the year they got really popular, I was a huge fan. Went and saw them in concert, and I caught Mike Portnoy's drumstick at the concert.
All right, I don't know if I'm actually gonna find it. Let's see if maybe it's under Overture 1928. I thought this one was. Nope, it's not on YouTube. Nobody's put my version up on YouTube yet. There's a guy that goes through and puts all my stuff up on YouTube, so I can usually find it there faster than anywhere else. Anyway, I'll save this for another time. It's prog metal, but I made it with a Nintendo to sound like this, the chiptune version. You can create real covers of real songs using this toy from the 1980s.
And I'm gonna have to do some play-alongs just for fun.
Yeah, stuff that sounds like real prog metal. Like it's like I gotta send you my album of just Nintendo music, and you're just gonna be like, okay, that's my speed. That's the craziness. We gotta play stuff like that live, like crazy prog.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Just because we can and it's fun and it's a challenge.
I went and saw a band. They all dressed up really cool. I don't remember the name of the band. They did all video game music, and it was amazing. They were all Berkeley grads.
Okay, that narrows it down a bit. I don't know if Power Glove was
Capes. Oh man, I ended up going. I was just
There's
invited.
a lot of them out there. There's hundreds of video game cover bands now, and they're all kind of amazing in their own way.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go play some drums.
Play some drums. I will be in here toiling on this Requiem. And you're welcome to stick around and see me